Master your mind to overcome suffering and find lasting tranquility. We often hear that suffering is an inevitable part of life. But have you ever wondered, if the mind is the source of all suffering, can we truly overcome it through the mind itself? This question lies at the heart of every spiritual journey. As we embark on this exploration together, I invite you to pause and reflect. What is the mind? And how often do we mistake it for who we truly are? Imagine standing by a river, watching leaves float by. Each leaf carries a thought, a memory, an emotion. Some are pleasant, some painful. Our suffering arises not because these leaves exist, but because we reach out, grasp them, and refuse to let go. Mastering the mind is learning to watch without clinging, to observe without judgment. Yet, why do we cling? Is it fear of emptiness, of losing ourselves? Or is it because we have never learned the art of stillness? Suffering, in its essence, is resistance. When we resist the present moment, wishing it to be different, we create pain. Think about the last time you felt truly unhappy. Was it not because reality failed to meet your expectations? The mind, with its endless desires and aversions, traps us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. But what if we could break free? What if, instead of fighting the waves, we learned to float? This journey begins with awareness. Right now, as you listen, become aware of your breath. Inhale, exhale. Notice how your mind wanders, pulling you into thoughts of the past or future. This is the mind's nature. But here's the profound truth. You are not your mind. You are the observer. And the moment you recognize this, a door opens, a door to freedom. But awareness alone is not enough. Mastery requires discipline. Have you ever tried to sit in silence, even for 5 minutes, only to be overwhelmed by a torrent of thoughts? The mind is like a wild horse, untamed and restless. Yet, with patience, it can be trained. Every time you gently bring your focus back to the present, you strengthen your inner muscles. And with time, the mind's grip loosens. Now, let's go deeper. Why do we suffer even when we have everything we thought we wanted? This is a question that has haunted humanity for centuries. The answer lies in attachment. We attach ourselves to people, possessions, identities, and even beliefs. But nothing in this world is permanent. Everything changes. And when the things we cling to inevitably slip away, we suffer. So, ask yourself, what am I holding on to that is causing me pain? Is it a past hurt, an unfulfilled dream, or perhaps the fear of an uncertain future? Let me share a story. There once was a monk who carried a beautiful crystal bowl. One day, it slipped from his hands and shattered. His disciple expected him to be devastated, but the monk simply smiled and said, "I have always known this bowl was already broken." This is the essence of non-attachment, not indifference, but acceptance of impermanence. But how do we practice non-attachment in a world that constantly demands our involvement? The key is intention. Each morning, ask yourself, what am I truly seeking today? Is it fleeting pleasure, or lasting peace? Every choice we make either strengthens our attachments or liberates us from them. And remember, non-attachment does not mean renouncing the world. It means engaging fully, but without clinging. Love deeply, but without possessing. Work passionately, but without being consumed. And when life inevitably changes course, bow gracefully, knowing that every end is a new beginning. As we navigate this path, challenges will arise, the mind will resist, doubts will creep in. But here's a thought to ponder. Is the mind resisting because it fears losing control? After all, if you no longer identify with your mind, what power does it hold over you? Let's take a moment to reflect. What is one thought or belief that has been holding you captive? What would happen if you simply let it go? Not suppressed, but truly released. Would you feel lighter, freer? And if so, why do we hesitate to release our burdens? Mastering the mind is not a destination but a continuous journey. Every day presents an opportunity to choose awareness over autopilot, presence over distraction, and peace over turmoil. As we move forward, remember this: the mind is a tool, a servant. It was never meant to be our master. Now, as we prepare to delve even deeper into this exploration, consider this question: if true tranquility lies beyond the mind, what does that realm look like? And how do we reach it? Beyond the mind, discovering the silent observer within. If we accept that our suffering is born from the mind's endless chatter, then the next logical question is, who or what observes this chatter? Imagine sitting in a quiet room, hearing a clock tick. The sound exists, but so does your awareness of it. Now apply this to your mind. Thoughts arise, but there is an awareness that notices these thoughts. This awareness, pure, silent, and unchanging, is who you truly are. Let's pause and reflect. If you can observe your thoughts, how can you be them? This realization is profound yet unsettling. We've spent our lives identifying with our minds, believing that our thoughts define us. But what if they don't? What if you are the clear sky, and your thoughts are merely passing clouds? They come and go, but you remain. Have you ever experienced a moment of complete stillness? Perhaps during a walk in nature or in the early hours of dawn, where everything felt peaceful. That wasn't the absence of thought, but the presence of awareness. But how do we consistently access this awareness amidst the chaos of daily life? The answer lies in mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just a practice but a way of being. It is the art of anchoring yourself in the present moment. Right now, feel the weight of your body on the chair, the air against your skin. Listen to the subtle sounds around you. This moment is all there is. The past is a memory, the future a projection, and yet, we spend most of our lives trapped in these illusions, missing the only reality we have, now. But why is the present moment so elusive? The mind thrives on distraction. It clings to the past because it offers a sense of identity. It projects into the future because it craves certainty. Yet, both are illusions. The only truth is the now. So, ask yourself, what would my life look like if I lived fully in the present? Let me share a parable. A disciple once asked his master, "How do I find enlightenment?" The master replied, "Have you finished your breakfast?" The disciple nodded. "Then wash your bowl." The master said, "Enlightenment is not a distant goal. It is found in the simplicity of everyday actions when done with full presence." But presence is not just about awareness, it's about acceptance. Life will always present challenges. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When we resist what is, we suffer. But when we accept, even pain becomes bearable. Imagine holding a glass of water. Holding it for a minute is easy. An hour becomes challenging. A day is unbearable. The weight doesn't change, your resistance does. What glass of water are you holding onto in your life? Acceptance, however, is not passivity. It is the courage to face reality without distortion. It is acknowledging your pain without letting it define you. Ask yourself, what am I resisting in my life right now? What would happen if I simply allowed it to be? As we deepen our understanding, another truth emerges. The mind's greatest tool is fear. Fear of failure, rejection, the unknown. But here's a question to ponder. If fear is a creation of the mind, can it have any power over the real you, the observer? Imagine standing in front of a mirror. The reflection might appear scared, but you, the one observing, are not. To master your mind, you must confront your fears. Not by fighting them, but by understanding them. Every fear, when traced back, leads to a single question. What if I lose something? But what can you truly lose that is essential to your being? Your possessions? They are temporary. Your relationships? They are transient. Even your body is impermanent. What remains? Your awareness, your essence. So, take a moment and ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of? And is that fear real, or is it a story my mind has created? In this journey, patience is key. The mind will rebel. It will throw distractions, doubts, and desires your way. But every time you choose awareness over mindlessness, you take a step towards freedom. And as you continue, you'll find moments of clarity, where the mind quiets, and you experience pure being. In those moments, suffering dissolves, And tranquility emerges, not as a fleeting emotion, but as an enduring state. But the question remains, once we recognize the observer within, how do we integrate this awareness into our daily lives, ensuring that tranquility is not just a temporary state, but a lasting presence? Living with awareness, integrating mastery into everyday life. Recognizing the silent observer within is profound, but true mastery lies in weaving this awareness into the fabric of daily life. After all, what is the value of tranquility if it evaporates the moment we leave our meditation cushion? The challenge is clear. How do we maintain this state amidst the chaos of responsibilities, relationships, and endless distractions? Let's begin with a simple but profound question. What would your day look like if every moment was lived with full awareness? Imagine waking up each morning, not with the frantic rush to check your phone, but with a conscious breath, acknowledging the gift of a new day. As you rise, each action, brushing your teeth, sipping your coffee, becomes a meditation, an act of presence. The mind, of course, will resist. It will pull you into worries about the day ahead or regrets from the day before. But here's the key: every time you bring your attention back to the present, you weaken the mind's control. But awareness alone is not enough. Integration requires practice, and practice demands intention. Begin each day by setting an intention. Today, I will be fully present. Write it down, say it aloud, let it echo within you. And when challenges arise, return to it. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when a deadline looms, ask yourself, can I respond with awareness instead of reaction? Yet, let's be honest, there will be moments of failure. Moments when the mind wins, when anger flares, or anxiety consumes. But even in those moments, there is an opportunity. Instead of judging yourself, observe, here is my mind at work. And in that observation, there is already a shift. Have you ever noticed that the moment you become aware of your anger, its intensity diminishes? This is the power of awareness. But what about deeper struggles, the kind that linger for years? Heartbreak, loss, existential dread? These are not mere distractions. They are storms that can shatter our sense of self. Yet, even here, awareness is the anchor. Imagine a tree in a storm. Its branches sway, leaves are torn away, but its roots remain firm. Awareness is our root. No matter how intense the storm, it holds us steady. The question is, are you nurturing your roots? Or are you focused solely on the branches? In practical terms, integration means creating rituals. A daily meditation practice, no matter how brief, trains the mind. Journaling your thoughts helps you observe patterns. Even a simple act, like pausing before responding in a conversation, cultivates mindfulness. But beyond rituals, it's about perspective. Life is inherently unpredictable, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And every day, we have the power to choose. Yet, this path is not solitary. We are social beings. Our interactions shape our experiences. So, ask yourself, are the people around you nurturing your awareness, or fueling your mind's chaos? This is not about judgment but discernment. Surround yourself with those who inspire mindfulness, who challenge you to grow, and more importantly, be that person for others. When someone vents their frustrations, can you listen without judgment? When someone wrongs you, can you respond with compassion instead of retaliation? But let's go deeper. What about the mind's most subtle traps, the desire for validation, the need for control, the endless pursuit of perfection? These are not loud, obvious distractions. They are whispers, often unnoticed, yet they drive much of our suffering. Think about it. How often do we act not from genuine desire, but from a need to be seen, appreciated, or admired? What would life look like if we let go of that need? Here's a challenge. The next time you feel compelled to seek validation, whether through social media, work, or relationships, pause and ask, who am I trying to impress? And why? And then, let it go. Feel the freedom in that moment. The mind will resist, whispering, but what if they don't notice me? And that's precisely where growth lies, in realizing that true peace comes not from being seen, but from seeing yourself clearly. As we conclude this journey, let's reflect on a final question. If you were to live the rest of your life with unwavering awareness, what would change? More importantly, what's stopping you from starting now? True mastery is not in never losing awareness, but in returning to it, again and again, until it becomes your natural state. The path is challenging, but every step is worth it. After all, what could be more valuable than a mind that no longer controls you, but serves you, a mind that is calm, clear, and free? This is not the end, but a new beginning. The question now is, are you ready to live it?